Welcome to Jim Sells the Suncoast, your go-to podcast for all things real estate on Florida's beautiful Suncoast. I'm your host, Jim, your friendly neighborhood real estate agent, and each week we dive into the vibrant world of buying and selling homes while embracing the laid-back lifestyle that makes Florida such a paradise. In our episodes, we'll explore the latest developments shaping our communities and spotlight the incredible companies and industries that play a vital role in real estate, from movers to mortgage brokers, title agents to insurance pros. Whether you're a first time buyer, a seasoned seller, or simply dreaming of that perfect beachside bungalow, we've got insights, tips, and plenty of local flavor to guide you. So grab your sunscreen and get ready to soak up knowledge, laughs, and a little sunshine as we navigate the Suncoast together. Let's make your real estate dreams a reality, one episode at a time. Hello from Jim Sells the Suncoast. Today, I'm really excited to have Daniel Marr from Mighty Dog Roofing, where we're going to talk a little bit about everything that goes into the roof when we're looking from the buyer or seller perspective. And I'll steal your line. He's got you covered. So let's take a look at go through there. But Dan, tell me a little bit about yourself and the Mighty Dog and the roofing industry in general.
A little bit about myself. Kind of born and raised in Iowa, spent a little over 20 years residing in Texas as well, San Antonio. I was a former athlete. I've been an elementary school teacher, owned my own martial arts school, been an insurance adjuster as well. And here I am in the roofing division. But Mighty Dog opened their doors, I believe it was late 2020 or early 2021 here in Southwest Florida. We kind of handle everything on the West Coast. And like I say, we got you covered, but we can handle commercial, residential. We do repairs, complete re-roofs, coatings. We do complimentary inspections, and we can even help out with new builds as well.
Okay. So let's just go right to the basics and we'll set the stage here. What are the most common roof types you see on the Suncoast? And then why are they popular?
Most common types, you have shingle, you'll have metal and tile. Of course, we have our flat roof modified bitumen on a residential. Sometimes TPO and commercial application would be TPO. And we're starting to see a new kind of metal, which can be stamped to look like tile. Owners who are in those traditional tile communities are no longer required to have tile, but they have to have something that looks like it. It's called stone coated steel. So those are our main roof types here in Southwest Florida. And it's a different animal down here in Florida. Our weather, our hurricanes, we get a lot of northerns come down and they think roof is going to last a lot longer. It does down here with the different elements and versus the northern states.
So use some things in there. I don't really know what they mean. So let's go through some of that. Shingle, I know you see that. That's fairly typical. So what are some of the advantages or the pluses about shingle and the disadvantages?
Shingle, we use an architectural composite shingle. So they have a wind rating with Owens Corning about 130 miles an hour. And that helps with the storms down here. But it's going to be your most cost effective roof style. So it's going to be less expensive than tile, metal, or TPO, but they're not as durable in the storms and the high winds as metal or tile is. So that's your plus there is cost, but your downside is going to be the longevity. The one thing we see in Florida, and it's due to the insurance companies, but around 15 years, a lot of homeowners will get letters where they will have to replace their roof, even though there might not be any damage just due to the age of it. You typically see that with tile or metal, or if you do, it's at a much longer time period.
So that's your basic entry point, right? That's your 15 years, probably the cheapest. It'll cover you for most things, but if it gets really tough, it's probably not going to do as well as the others.
Overall, it's a good system, depending on what kind of underlayment you use there. A lot of times, felt was your code. Some places have upgraded to synthetic, but your self-adhering peel and stick underlayment would be the best thing. So if you're doing self-adhering peel and stick underlayment along with shingle, you're getting 2 layers of water barrier recognized by the insurance company. That's going to be the best thing you can do with your shingle roof.
Okay, so let's start there too. You talked about the underlayment. That's going to be regardless of the type of roof, right? That's going to be on there.
Correct. Underlayment, regardless of what type of the roof is. Yes. So you've got your decking, you'll have your underlayment, and then whatever your material, shingle, tile, metal would be on top of that.
Okay. All right. So we've talked shingle a little bit. Next would be tile.
Yeah, we can go to tile next. Tile is a durable material, but the tile itself sheds the water. It's not waterproof. A lot of homeowners think,
Mm.
oh, well, I've got a tile roof. It looks good, but I don't understand why I have any leaks. It's the actual underlayment that waterproofs your home. We've had customers even say, I've noticed there's a roof over there and there's no shingles or tile on it. I just see they'll call it the paper or whatever, but it'd be the self-adhering peel and stick. And they're thinking it rained, that house has got to be flooded out. And actually, self-adhering peel and stick will waterproof the home. So if it rains, it's completely waterproof. However, it cannot be left out in the sun. The sun is what deteriorates that material, and you can end up with problems if that's left out too long without the shingle, metal, or tile being put on top of it.
So maybe the best way to look at it is then that underlayment is what waterproofs your house. Your roof is what protects that underlayment.
The
And
shingle
then
will
we're looking
protect
at
the underlayment, or the tile protects the underlayment. Issues you could see, say you have a missing tile, the homeowner doesn't know it, the sun's been beating on that small area for maybe 6 months or a year, that will completely wear out that underlayment to where you actually get leaking just through that spot. Can happen. I'm not saying it happens all the time, but degrades or deteriorates that underlayment, the sun exposure.
so especially here in Florida, it seems that the one protects you from water, the other protects you from sun. Together keeps your house safe. Okay. So let's talk a little bit about metal. I know those have really seemed to have come into their own over the last couple of years, and you start seeing a lot more of those.
The main types of metal, you got your 5V crimp, which has exposed fasteners. So if you look up the roof and you see a bunch of little screws or fasteners in rows, that's what that is. You have your standing seam, which has hidden fasteners. It's a maintenance free system versus the 5V. You have to go back every between 5 and 10 years and make sure all those screws are tightened down. And then the last would be the newer material or product come out with the stone coated steel, which can look like shingle or shake, can look like barrel tile, can look like flat tile. They're stamped to look like that. From the road, a lot of homeowners will pass a barrel tile roof and not realize it's the stone coated steel.
Okay. Is there a difference between the two? What's the advantage of having the steel or the stone coated over tile?
5V is going to be your most cost effective metal roof. Standing seam will be pricier than that. And the stone coated is even a little bit more expensive than the standing seam. But they have the best wind uplift up to 200 miles an hour on
Okay.
gauge standing seam. It should withstand hurricane. In my prior work as an insurance adjuster, I've been to several hurricanes. And the metal roofs are the ones, unless there's a tree branch or something that fell, they made it through the storm. Shingle, you might be missing the entire all your shingles, but you'll see a metal roof and they're like, wow, that withstood. But you do pay that over the shingle price.
Right.
You're getting a longevity out of that product.
Okay. And then you mentioned a flat roof, which we see a lot of in Florida. So
Uh,
what is on that?
on a residential, you could go with a modified bitumen, which would be like a long roll of shingle material. It does have a base or like self-adhering underlayment to it, and then you have the modified bitumen. That roof system, you're going to get like shingle about 15 years out of that flat roof. The TPO, it's one of the best roofing systems you can get out there. It is very energy efficient. You normally see it's like a white material, usually on commercial applications. You can go 60 millimeter thick. They can go up to 80, 90, even 120 millimeter thickness on that TPO. Under TPO, there's also some insulation that is required to put down, which helps make that energy efficient. With any roofing system, we ask the homeowner, property manager, what is the end goal here? Is this something you're going to sell within a few years, you're keeping for a lifetime? That way we can help them with the best system they are need.
Okay. And then I remember talking with you before when you looked at the underlayment, you talked about felt, and then there was also the peel and stick. And from my understanding, the difference is the felt you had to nail down, the peel and stick, no nail holes because it sticks down there, which gives you better water barrier. Is that correct?
No, there's
Ah,
you have the felt, they'll nail it down. There's synthetic, which is like plastic. That's an upgrade from your felt. They nail that. The peel and stick, they also nail. However, they will overlap the next layer. So you have one layer peel and stick that gets nailed down.
okay.
They overlap those nails so it covers all the exposed nails on the roof.
Ah, okay.
You don't have any exposed nails. You just see the self-adhering.
Okay. Perfect. But it gives you another protection so that there won't have
The
potential
insurance
leaks in that
companies
spot.
do recognize the self-adhering peel and stick underlayment as a secondary water barrier. Homeowners get some sort of discount for having that second layer.
Okay. So if you had to rank the roof types by durability and Florida weather, how would you rank them?
TPO, number one, I would go metal. And then between tile and shingle, I'd place them as an equal.
One's almost really a cosmetic choice then by the time you get to the bottom two.
Yes, tile is beautiful. It's absolutely gorgeous,
Right.
but it comes with some issues. The roof has to be built for tile. It weighs a lot. Shingle's going to weigh about 280 pounds per 100 square feet. Metal's actually lighter than shingle. Tiles is close to 800 pounds
Yeah.
per square feet. You can't go from shingle to tile all the time, but you can go from tile to shingle or metal.
They're not necessarily mix and match or replace.
Correct. And that's just due to the way the structure has to be able to hold that.
Right. Okay. Which do you think roofing materials handle the heat, humidity, and storms the best?
TPO is your most energy efficient. Metal is also a more energy efficient as far as your
Okay.
utilities go than over shingle. But there's other factors that come to play: windows, doors, things like that.
Okay. So let's look at, we talked about the lifespan a little bit earlier. What's the realistic lifespan of each type?
So in Florida, you're going to get between 15 and 20 years, depending on how severe the weather's come through. With tile, you should be able to get close to 25 years with that. With metal, you're going to get close to 30 years. TPO, it can last beyond 30. The one downside for TPO is it is a rubberized material. If you have a tree, it can definitely puncture that. But if you have a tree branch fall on tile or metal, it would do the same.
What shortens a roof's lifespan faster than people expect?
What we typically see is shortened lifespan due to improper attic ventilation, especially on shingle.
Oh,
If a builder cut some corners, didn't quite put in enough attic venting, you can get tea that can be created in there. Blistering of shingles can be created just because the heat is not escaping the attic space.
okay.
It's actually sitting in there and causing issues. So that will definitely reduce the lifespan on any roof to have improper attic venting.
Yeah, for sure. I would have thought it would have been something outside the roof as opposed to under or inside that's going to impact it. Okay. How much should a homeowner budget annually for roof maintenance?
That would depend on the type of roof,
Mhm.
shingle, tile, metal. Maintenance is around vents or pipe boots, things like that, just making sure things are resealed. With shingle, you just got to watch those hip and ridge shingles, make sure they're fastened down. But as far as an annual maintenance, like I say, depend on the roof type. And really, in Florida, we haven't had any storms roll through in the last 18 months. So that helps a lot. But with storms coming through, I would say maybe a grand a year would definitely help them save towards any repair.
Okay. So if we're not looking necessarily at a dollar amount, what could the average homeowner do as far as maintenance from their point of view? What can they do or what should they look for as they're walking around the house or looking up there?
Real maintenance for us roofers, we get feet on the roof. We inspect areas we would typically see issues, roof and wall connections, where, say, a 1 story and a 2 story wall will meet. The vents, again, we can check around the drip edge, gutter attachments. When it comes to tile, homeowners have to get those maintenance as far as cleaning because of the algae growth. And so we can see loose hip and ridge tile sometimes. As a roofer, we just kind of go around and check the various systems. We'll check the field, the hip, the ridge, vents, things of that nature.
Okay. And then what the homeowner should be looking for is any kind of sign of something inside if there's water or stain on the ceiling. That should be a 911. Let's not let it get any worse than what you see right then.
If you see a water stain to your ceiling, sometimes it's the roof. It can be ductwork. It can be
Mhm.
plumbing. Just depends what you got going on in your attic. But yeah, definitely call your licensed roofer. They should give you a free assessment. Get in the attic to check
Mhm.
what's going on inspect the decking from the underside to see if we see any water staining, any water penetration of any sort. If a homeowner's walking around, you can see missing shingle, tile, things like that. So just walking around, or just call your roofer.
All right. So talking about inspections, either a home inspection, maybe when you're buying or selling, or if you just feel like you need one, what are the top red flags you look for during an inspection?
So during the home inspection, getting in the attic, looking at that plywood is one. And then two, going up on top of the roof, you're looking at flashings at roof to wall connections. You're looking at your vents, any tears in shingles or slip tiles, any exposed fasteners or lifted fasteners on metal roofs, things of that nature. In regards to the inspection reports that homeowners do during the buying and selling, that home inspector is looking at those main things as well.
Mhm. Are there any subtle warning signs buyers often miss?
The age of the roof plays a factor here more than anything, especially in Florida. And it really has to do with mortgage and insurance. If a shingle roof's in great shape at 15 years, you could get 3 to 5 years of length of life out of it, possibly more, depending on weather conditions and what storms roll through. But
Mhm.
it's the age that comes into a factor with a buyer or seller. An example would be a nice 23-year-old tile roof that's just been cleaned and everything looks immaculate from the top side, but the underlayment is now 23 years old, and that is
Right.
what really waterproofs the home. And yes, you can pull a tile out and see the condition of the underlayment, but you can't see all of the underlayment, all the valleys and different areas.
What simple maintenance steps can extend the life of a roof for most people?
Simple maintenance, having it washed, cleaned, having it checked, and checking those main areas that we typically see water leaks.
Mhm. I know speaking with you the other day, you mentioned cleaning the gutters so the water doesn't back up and absorb
Yes,
up through the roof.
if you do have tree, whether it's pines or oaks, getting that debris off your roof. If you've got a bunch of leaves sitting in a valley of a roof that they are not being blown off, when water comes, those leaves will hold some of that water. I have seen water in full gutters with full tree leaves back up under shingles. And the
Mhm.
shingles are meant to shed that water off, but they become less waterproof if water's going up under them.
Yeah.
This just takes a seal to come apart or a nail and it'll find its way.
In Florida and on the Suncoast here, how often should a homeowner have their roof inspected?
We tell homeowners yearly, especially with
Okay.
what we call storm season approaching us. Get up. We at Mighty Dog, we take photos of everything. Photos are time, date, and location stamps. So the homeowner has their access to all of that. And what say we June 1st of this year, I do an inspection on your home, Jim. I'm going to have all of that photographs, everything in the report for you. So you know what your roof looks like on June 1st.
We spoke the other day too. That's a great thing to have as we go into hurricane season for insurance. This was damaged. No, see, everything was good on June 1st. So we've got
Correct.
a point to start with.
Do you have all the evidence showing the condition of the roof? If the roof has issues with it, then that may not help the homeowner because now we have evidence. The thing is, you get those things taken care of, and then you have photos showing we had a few torn shingles, but they were replaced on this date. And homeowners that do their maintenance and take care of those things are the roofs that usually make it through the storms.
They're the ones that get the high end of the lifespan. They get to 20 instead of 15.
Correct. Correct.
What upgrades or features should homeowners consider to better protect their roof? Or what things should homeowners stay away from?
Some things we do at Mighty Dog, we will put what we call pipe boot vent covers with critter guards built into them. We'll keep any lizards, snakes, rats, anything out of those pipes that go into your plumbing system. What I've heard from a plumber is if you get something in there and it gets lodged in there, all of a sudden now your toilets aren't flushing because you have clog in one of those vents. Um, the type of vents that are installed, there are different kinds of off-ridge vents on tile roofs with products like O'Hagan that are a low profile. They are less likely to leak. They withstand our weather better down here. And there is aluminum ridge venting on shingle roofs versus the shingle over ridge vent. The shingle over ridge vent is a better product, will last longer.
Okay. So as we wrap up here, Daniel, what's the one thing every buyer should do to protect their roof, either before buying or before selling, that people forget about?
To give me a call and just inspect the attic and roof.
100% right. Daniel, thank you so much for coming out. I could talk to you for hours on roofs because I find it fascinating. And there's so much about it that you just assume and you wind up being wrong because there's science and systems that go into it. And so talk to the expert.
And we try to bring not only experience of having our supervisor who's been in roofing for over 55 years, but the best products out there. And we inform homeowners good, better, best. And just so they're informed and can make the best possible decision for themselves.
Great. Daniel, thank you so much for coming out. I appreciate you. Thanks.
No, you're very welcome, Jim. Thank you so much.
And that wraps up another sunny episode of Jim Sells the Suncoast. Thank you for joining me on this journey through the ins and outs of buying and selling homes here in our beautiful slice of Florida. I hope you found valuable insights and a little bit of inspiration to help you on your real estate adventure. Remember, whether you're looking to buy, sell, or simply soak up the Suncoast lifestyle, I'm here to guide you every step of the way. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a review so that we can keep shining bright together. Until next time, keep dreaming big and let's turn those dreams into a reality, one home at a time.